Welcome to the Oregon Assistive Technology Worker Guide Overview.
Hello, Oregonians. If you have a developmental disability and get services through the Oregon Office of Developmental Disabilities, there is funding available for assistive devices and technology. In winter 2025, Oregon made a big update to its Worker Guide for Assistive Devices, Assistive Technology, and Specialized Medical Supplies. This guide is often called the AT Worker Guide for short. In this video, we will give a brief overview of the updated guide. First, we will define terms used in the video. Next, we will go over eligibility and requirements for assistive devices and technology. Finally, we will meet a case manager and some of their customers and hear about real-life examples.
Before we begin, let's start with a few definitions of terms we will use. If someone gets services through their county or community developmental disabilities program, their case manager is called a service coordinator. If they get services through a brokerage, their case manager is called a personal agent, or PA. Both service coordinators and personal agents are case managers. For this video, we will use the term case manager. Oregon Developmental Disability Services is known as ODDS and is often called DD services. ODDS pays for approved items and services from a variety of sources, including the K-Plan. Sometimes people just call this DD funds as a general term for payment. And now, let's dig into the AT Worker Guide. The guide gives information about assistive devices and technology. For example, adaptive utensils, portable ramps, communication devices, timers, motion sensors, voice recognition, and many more. The guide also covers items that are called specialized medical supplies, such as hygiene wipes, infection control supplies, personal protective equipment, cleaning supplies for feeding tubes, and more. This video will not cover information about specialized medical supplies. It will only cover assistive devices and assistive technology. Please refer to the Worker Guide for more details on specialized medical supplies. A link to the guide is located on the Oregon DHS website.
There are two requirements to be eligible to receive an assistive device or technology through DD. First, the person must have K-Plan services or be eligible for K-Plan. Second, they must have a need that has been identified in their individual support plan that relates to daily living and health. Assistive devices and technology also have some requirements. First, it has to be an item that is not already covered by another support service. For example, in foster care, 24-hour residential care, or a home owned and operated by a provider, a hot water temperature regulator or automatic faucets may already be required, so would not be funded through DD. The items must be the most cost-effective option. This does not necessarily mean the cheapest option, but the one that is the best option for the lowest cost, and items should be new or in nearly new condition. Next, it must support the person's individual service plan goals, also called ISP goals, and must support their personal preferences. It cannot be an item that is covered by their health insurance. One example is durable medical equipment, also known as DME. DME is an assistive device or technology that is specially coded for medical insurance. It may be approved if the evaluating professional makes it clear why it is medically necessary. Any device that is durable medical equipment should be requested through insurance before requesting DD funding. Some examples of DME include wheelchairs, communication devices, shower chairs, and standers. Please note, for children who qualify for Medicaid, Oregon Health Plan has a benefit for children and youth under age 21 called Early and Periodic Screening, Diagnostic, and Treatment, or EPSDT. EPSDT should cover any durable medical equipment that is medically necessary. Finally, the item or list of items relating to one need cannot exceed $1,200. If it is more than $1,200, then the case manager must request a funding exception from ODDS. The total cost of all assistive devices and technology in one plan year may not exceed $5,000. If it does, then the case manager must request a funding exception from ODDS. Please note, some items need a letter of recommendation from a professional or specialist, and some items do not. We will look at a couple of examples later in the video. Now, let's meet a case manager and some of their customers to learn more about obtaining assistive devices and technology.
Hi, my name is Anthony. I'm going to introduce you to 3 people I'm working with. The first person we will meet is Felix.
Hi, I'm Felix. I'm 35 years old and live at home. Anthony and I are working together to get the tools I need to be more independent and to help meet my goals.
Felix and his family have a list of tools that they believe will help him in his activities of daily living. These are called ADLs. The tools he needs are some adaptive eating utensils and an automatic soap dispenser. Felix doesn't have a choking risk, so as his case manager, I can request the eating utensils. And the soap dispenser doesn't have any risks, so I'm qualified as the relevant professional and can request these items directly. Felix was also able to borrow noise cancellation headphones and some sensory fidget toys from a local lending library, and they worked great for him. Normally, a relevant professional, like an occupational therapist, would have to recommend the sensory items. But since he borrowed them, they worked well. They don't pose a risk, and the total cost is well under $1,200. I can also go ahead and request these items. One other item the family is requesting is an adaptive jar opener. Felix's broke 6 months ago. Since we are still in the same ISP year, I can go ahead and request that replacement item along with the other items. Now, let's meet Elena. Elena and her family said there are some medical items she needs. Elena is in need of a wheelchair and might need a communication device to help her communicate, since she has a communication disability. Since wheelchairs and communication devices are medically necessary, medical insurance usually pays for them, not DD. So, I have referred Elena to a local wheelchair seating clinic and to a speech-language pathologist, or SLP, who specializes in augmentative and alternative communication. These specialists will determine if the items meet medical necessity criteria, and if so, they will apply to Medicaid or private insurance to get the items. If the wheelchair or the communication device is denied by insurance, the specialist can help with an appeal process. If the appeal is denied, we will need to work together on a plan. For the communication device that Elena and her family mentioned, I explained to them that there are different types of speech-generating devices. Many are tablet-based, and some are iPads that are coded by insurance as a speech-generating device and considered durable medical equipment, also called DME. Insurance will cover DME speech-generating devices when they are prescribed by a speech-language pathologist and are considered medically necessary. Occasionally, an SLP may determine that a DME speech-generating device is not the best fit. In that case, they must document why, and a case manager, like me, can go ahead and request a tablet with a communication app from DD. This is usually a rare occurrence. I would like you to meet another one of my customers, Malcolm, and his mother.
Hi, I'm Malcolm's mom. Malcolm's case manager said he's able to have virtual meetings with Malcolm. This is a good option for him since he has a weakened immune system and is at risk going out. Malcolm needs a tablet and internet connection for virtual meetings. His case manager told us this is considered assistive technology for service access.
DD funds don't pay for internet services, but I showed them a very affordable plan through a local internet provider. The tablet is not a medical item, so they don't need an insurance denial or a letter from a specialist. It is also well below $1,200, so I made the request and it should be available soon. Malcolm's mom and his support professional can help him set up the equipment, and will be able to train and support him to use the tablet for virtual meetings.
Malcolm likes to have some alone time, but he's at risk of leaving the house alone, which isn't safe for him. His behavior specialist recommends a door alarm and GPS monitoring system so he can have his alone time while staying safe.
The behavior specialist wrote a letter recommending the door alarm and GPS system. These items are not even close to $1,200, and Malcolm is still well below his yearly maximum of $5,000. I'll go ahead and make this request.
Great! You know, Malcolm would also benefit from a trampoline, since that really helps him feel regulated.
Unfortunately, there's risk in using a trampoline, and our department has determined it is not safe, so I can't approve DD funds for that item.
Okay. I think his grandma wanted to buy that for his birthday, so we've got that covered.
Now that we have seen a few examples, I hope you have a better understanding of how DD funds can be used for assistive devices and technology. For more information, please find the 2025 Updated Worker Guide on the Oregon DHS website.
This video was created by Community Vision, an Oregon disability nonprofit organization. It was funded by the creators of the AT Worker Guide, the Oregon Department of Human Services, Office of Developmental Disabilities Services.